right, so it is 7 o'clock, so we can go ahead and get going.
All righty.
Do we have, did everyone get a chance to take a look at the meeting minutes?
Sure did.
I grazed through them quick. I don't remember seeing anything outrageous, so you know,
Hey, it's me. Come on.
I gotta make a motion. Well, no, just,
I know.
just, nothing that was directionally out there that wasn't there after what, a 3-hour tour?
3-hour tour, yes.
So, I make a motion to approve the August minutes.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye,
Yes.
aye. Sure. Okay. I didn't. Have we seen anything from Kenny in terms of financials?
Nope.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay. Director's
there's that.
report.
This is going to be hopefully short and sweet. Financials. Is it sharing it?
Yep.
Yep.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, not a ton of updates since last meeting, so we'll keep it short and sweet. Like I said, a lot of no updates. Pinged Mike and Dennis, actually felt like those were the two. So no like responses, no start of an actual conversation back and forth, but kind of we'll try to get some progress on what are the first steps for upstairs at Kiwanis Building. I joined this month's pickleball meeting. They hold monthly meetings at the community center. So I try to join at least once a year to just kind of check in on everything. And it was sort of the unrolling of the idea to everyone but Marilyn, who already knew about the additional fee for indoor. Understandably, they weren't excited. They didn't think people would like it. And we sort of said, well, it's, everybody pays or the people who use it pay. That's because the town has kind of tapped us to cover those costs. And they understood. They just, the initial feeling was there are people who pay the annual just because it's a place to play for free inside.
Yeah.
And we're saying, well, oh well. Sorry. Not to be mean, but just if there's an addition, they're asking for 6 hours a day for 2 days a weekend for 6 months, that's a cost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, they came up with a good solution. We kind of brainstormed the different logistics of signing up for a specific session on a specific day. I brought up the credit card fee issue. And they came up with an interesting idea where they said, for simplicity, what if somebody signs up for a slot that would be every weekend for that month? So for example, somebody would pay blank amount. The four of us can decide what that is. And they would be the 8 to 10 slot every Saturday for the month of November. And so it can be a little bit of a higher cost than a daily cost because they're really paying for 4 to 5 days, depending on, the number of Saturdays that month. And then that would be 8 people who would sign up for that time slot. And then a different 8 people would sign up for 10 to 12 every Saturday for the month of November, and so on. And, 2 weeks ahead, you would just open up for the following month. So we continuously just every, halfway through the current month, you sign up for the next month. I might go back to them and say maybe even a week before. Although I know sometimes pickleball people, they're trying to schedule with their friends, like, hey, where are we going to play? So maybe 2 weeks. My big thing is I'd love to not offer refunds if people can no longer make it. So the closer in that we open it, the more we say, if you signed up a week before, hopefully you knew your schedule, versus if you signed up 2 weeks before, by the end of that month, that's 6 weeks out. So I don't know. It's not a huge difference, but it's something. So anyway, those little nitty gritties are the things that I'm still kind of discussing, but it was a way to have a larger price tag, kind of more similar to the yoga volleyball style price tag that we're already taking the credit card fees of. And it just reduces the logistics of people, every Monday for the whole summer or whatever, trying to rush and sign up and whatever. It just kind of reduces it. Like it's a once a month kind of thing, kind of
Mhm.
rush. And then you got it for the month.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, if you all like it, which I see a lot of nodding heads, I liked it. And honestly, it was their idea, so they liked it. If everybody's cool with it, we just need to figure out what that price tag would be. And again, it's 8 people per slot.
Yep.
And then
And how-
let's just generalize to 4 weekend days that they would be signing up for.
Okay.
So it's 32 people total? Is that right? How many slots
It
are?
would be 48 because it's Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So it would be, yeah, right,
Potential,
eight,
yeah,
24 a day, 48 a weekend. And
got it.
the last we heard from Bill and Dennis was that they weren't worried about the utility cost. I don't know
Okay.
if they'll change their mind when they kind of, I know a lot is hitting them all at once,
Yeah.
but right now they were sort of saying, don't worry about the utility cost. So really, we're just talking about the $65 cleaning crew cost, which is per weekend.
So
Right.
that's like a couple of bucks per person, right?
Right. It's still
Yeah.
really low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Very
yeah, so,
reasonable.
so I guess the question that I would end up having there is, should we only, like, has the 65 price been given to them?
Yes, but the fact that we had the tap of don't worry about utilities was not given. I just said
Okay.
cleaning crew and utilities.
Okay.
Because I do wonder if somebody starts doing the math, that's going to change.
Well-
I think we put something in regardless. Yeah, even if it's just a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that, I mean, the other consideration is what if you don't fill all the slots? Right?
Yeah, I'm
Or
not
you think you
super
will?
worried about that.
Okay.
And
Pick a
if
ball.
we buffer it even a dollar or two,
Mhm.
that's
It'll
$48.
come out in the
If
wash, yeah.
that's $48, extra. If it's $1 and each person each weekend that we would be,
Eight. Right.
Yeah.
or I guess, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
So we start when?
November.
Okay, so November 1st.
November 1st. So I'm looking to open mid-October for November.
Mhm.
3, 4. So November has 5
Okay.
weekends, right? So I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit, right? So we've got 5 in 1 month. December's got 4. January 2, 3, 4. I mean, January splits, right? Because you've got 1 January, 1 February day
Yep.
in the 5th week.
So I think the way I was doing this when I was doing some quick math, and then I realized I should just let Rick do it, but was to still have us come up with the cost per weekend that we want to see. And then I just multiply that by each specific month. So exactly like you're doing, Rick, November would be more expensive than December. And then when I was also looking at what you're looking at, I decided, and I want to see if you all agree, that if there's any weekend day, we still need to count it as a 5th because the cleaning crew would still have to come, even if
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But the hard thing is, do you kind of tack it, right? So do you tack it on both months? Because that Saturday would be part of January and then the Sunday would be part of February.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Can't we just set our own range of dates? Not necessarily a calendar month, but just 4-week slots. I don't know.
I'm
Maybe,
thinking that
yeah.
I'm thinking that it'll go 5, 4, 5, 4, 4 is how
Sure.
it looks to me based on there's five clean weekends and in November, then 4 in December, right? And then count February 1st into January, and that gives you a clean 5 weeks. Right? And then reality is you've got the same scenario with February into March. So
Right.
just count the 1st of March in the February bucket
Right,
of 4.
right.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got, then you've got March for 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And then it
Mhm.
ends, after March, right? Does it go through April or until April?
So yeah, so the last 2 years we technically did it through March, and then each year, because the weather, it was usually pretty like cold, rainy, they asked for an extension through April. So we were thinking this year to just count on including April
Okay.
originally.
Did Joe approve them or did he reject the extra time?
He approved it. He rejected any additional hours in weekends, but he approved the extra month.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so then it's just a matter of going back and going, okay, where does, you do that for March, right? April.
Yep.
2, 3, 4. Yeah. So basically you get 4 weeks in April as well. So, okay. And that definitely covers the 6 months that we've been kind of working on. And yeah,
Right.
then it's, reality is it's just math, right? But, it's, I want to say, call it $90 a weekend,
Mhm.
right? And then do then you can do the math out from there.
So if it's $90 a weekend, that would be, I mean, that's only like $2 a person, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then,
because you're talking 48 people, right?
right.
Right.
So so really what we're talking about is $8 or $10 for the month. Because if it's $2 a person for 5
Yeah.
weeks, it would be $10. $2 a person for 4 weeks would be $8. Am I doing that right?
Yep.
I have a chicken that missed curfew again. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I hear that.
Yeah, I mean, is it, so I guess the question is it $2 a day? $2 for their 2-hour time slot. So basically it's $1 per time slot.
Yeah.
$1 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people could deal with that.
Yeah.
One would think. Now,
Yeah.
but so if it's a price tag of 8 or it's a price tag of 10, what is the what's the credit card fee against that? Any idea?
Yeah, I don't know. I called it MyRec a few times, and they're usually really great with stuff like this. It's just that's not really their department. It's the authorized and priority. So they tried to play, media, whatever, the middleman a little bit, and it just never really got sorted. So my next thing is I have to track down actually calling authorized or priority, and then I've done this before where I never know which one it is because one of them's like the server and the other one's the whatever. I don't know. So anyway, I have to track it down more. I'll be honest, I kind of paused once we had this pickleball conversation because if we're now in the same realm of yoga and volleyball, then I'm sort of saying, similar hit feels.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I guess maybe we just look at a transaction from volleyball, right? Because we know that that's an $8 fee a week, right? And we know that
Yeah.
that one's getting done. So, assuming that they're, all of them are paying by credit card. So what do we see for fees on that? So that way, I mean, feasibly, we should try to bank in a little bit of what that fee expense is going to look like as well.
Yeah.
Right. And if it's, I'm just gonna say, if it's another dollar, right, then, then it's another dollar, right? I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to be able to, well, to just be able to calculate it out and make sure that, we're not killing ourselves in, death by 1,000, credit card processing
Well, the
fees,
credit card fees, yeah,
right?
Yep.
Yep.
So, because also keep in mind, right? So a credit card, that credit card fee counts as spend,
Right.
right? Everyone's got that, right? So,
Yeah.
as we went well over our spend piece and we've done more in the credit card space, which is aligns with the times, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's just a matter of making sure other things are getting adjusted accordingly to compensate for the fact that, hey, there's more going through credit card processing costs. So that's all.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So it's 2 to 3. I would say it's $2 to $3 based on, a person's slot. I would just say use $90, use $90 a weekend and and inquire on credit card fees.
Perfect. I can do that.
All right.
So along with that, so I told them, for signage that we really said we'll let the shed be yours, but keep it to the shed. So however you want to configure that, obviously we would still need final approval of what was posted, any wording, or information, but that actually putting it up, taking it down, deciding what they wanted to put up, and then as long as we approve it, it's fine. They can kind of take more ownership of that and however they want to maneuver it, cool. The one thing they did push back on, and I kind of understand, is the small competitive and recreational signs. So they're really only, couple inches by a couple inches. And their idea was that basically they said a lot of new people will walk onto the court first and look around, and if they saw a little sign that said recreational, they could kind of navigate to there. They said, especially with trying to keep all of the information on the shed, they're worried that it's just going to get so busy that like a little map of the courts, especially someone who's not comfortable with the courts, how does it, if it lays out from here, how does it lay out here, and which is 6 and whatever. So they asked, because it's not like a big informational sign or something large or really whatever, and they are, totally understanding of putting some sort of logo to indicate that we mean pickleball, not tennis, because these are tennis courts, not pickleball courts. They kind of just asked that we reconsider that. I'm open to it if you all are. It feels like a kind of an okay concession to that line. And they're kind of logistical of trying to help people who show up. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. It's a small sign, tiny sign, so.
Yeah.
I'm amenable. I'm thinking about somebody walking onto the court. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just worry because once we add one, the requests are going to keep on coming.
Yeah.
And we can always
Yeah.
say no.
We can
Right.
keep on saying no.
Yep. And I will say, so far this was the best meeting in terms, so Bill was there, Marilyn was there, like kind of most of the main crew. Often when I've gone to these meetings, 1 or 2 of the main people were missing. This was pretty much the main people that I talked to, and it went pretty smoothly in terms of like, here's where we're saying no, here's the policies, here's where we're saying yes. They asked about a new storage shed. We said that would come out, I spoke for you all, but this is correct. I said that would come out of your budget, so if it's in your budget, okay. They said yes, we ordered it, it's getting delivered. We talked about, placement, all of that. So it seems like these policies we're putting in place, they're working within them, and then just new asks we discuss. The storage shed, by the way, is just one of those like chest sheds
Like a box,
versus kind
yeah,
of a tall, and they're gonna put it down by the tennis courts, not up by the basketball courts again. Just so it's kind of still in their little area.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right.
They
Porta
need,
po-
they need more room. Then why do they need another storage piece?
the one that got hit by a car. So there was one up by,
I know,
oh,
I
so
know,
it's
but
just,
if they're
it's
not gonna
just,
put, if they're not putting another one up in that general area,
yeah.
then why do they need one? Because they have a whole, shed for storage.
Yeah, pretty much they just said the shed was really overwhelming to use easily. So some of the bigger, clunkier things that can just get placed into like a big box can get placed into a big box, and then that makes the shed easy to like pop in, grab, pop out of. So I think it's usability.
The squeegee, go ahead. It's all about the
Yeah.
squeegee.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
mean, in the winter, do they have to store like those portable nets and stuff in there too?
I
They
mean, I
should.
think they put most of it in the shed over the winter, but honestly, the last few winters they've been able to play mostly through. So there's not a
Hmm.
lot of long-term storage. I think just the ones that are kind of more people's that we look the other way, where it's like somebody's net that they chain up to the side of the fence. I think those are the ones that go away. The ones that are ours get stored every time
Okay.
Got it.
between play. And then they also do have a storage shed, storage bin on the stage in town hall for indoors.
Right,
So at
right.
one point they grab a bunch of stuff and bring it to that shed storage compartment.
Yep.
Yep. And then I did mention to them that they do need to get the ADA accessible porta potty. So Marilyn's going to work with Chris Hadley to try to get an actual date that soccer is done with it based on the porta potty company. And so that we can just say, okay, here's the flip over date, from soccer to pickleball.
Okay.
Okay, and it's gonna be there all the time now. Okay.
Right. Well, they're talking about like November when it would flip.
Yeah, no, I know, but then it's gonna be there from November, December,
Correct.
January, when it usually gets picked up and returned until the spring season starts for soccer. So,
Correct. Yep.
and lacrosse.
Yeah, really only summer. I don't know. I would expect it to get returned because pickleball can use our main bathrooms because we'll be open. Yeah.
Well, as long as the beach is open,
Right.
right? Couple of those weekends, it would have been closed, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's possible that they'll, if that happens this upcoming
Yeah.
summer, they might just say, all right, we'll take winter, summer, soccer, you take fall, spring.
Yeah. Leave it there all year, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's on
And I
them.
keep telling, as long as it fits in the budget.
Got it. Okay.
Archery, kind of same thing, coasting, no registrations on this next one. The last one, I think we had 2. So we just keep, they just keep opening them up. It's kind of pretty easy at this point. They just send us the next dates. Art program. Oh, with archery, I wanted, I know we don't get a lot of interest, but I wanted to be a little bit more participatory. So I was gonna see if at one point I can offer us as the location, but I'll have to call and kind of see what their needs are, and I don't know if the softball field would work or whatever. So I might just kind of pick their brain on what
Yeah.
does it need to be.
Yeah.
Just so we can at least be in the rotation. If we're not going to get a bunch of people, at least we can help in that way. But also,
Yeah.
if we don't have a bunch of people, they might not want all the other towns that are registering to have to always come to Upton. If it's, if Hopkinton has 10, it would be nice for it to be in Hopkinton.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
I might ping them on that.
Do you want a new
the-
picture for that, Maria?
Sorry?
Do you want a new image for that? Kind of beef it up, make it fresh?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
I found my notes so I can make things again.
Oh, nice. That's great. For the new art program, kind of still no real update. The last was, what do you need from me? Hey, here's what I need. And then, we're on pause. I don't know how excited she still is now that we're back in the school year, but I'm guessing this will be kind of like a long drawn out, maybe we'll do something at some point in the future versus a real rush, but we'll see. I'll ping her again, but kind of right now, ball's in her court. And
Okay.
then same thing with the performing arts program. So this idea right now that we're circling in on is much more of like a drama intensive. to
Mhm.
not compete with the theater program. So it'd be geared towards a little bit older age, really much more high school age, and much more on like acting specifics, teaching to act, versus kind of a kids theater program, which is, has a portion of that. So I'm hoping we can distinguish enough to not compete. Also, it would just be different timing. Aiming right now for winter break, but Matt is still. He basically just said I'm underwater, with a bunch of the other things I'm doing, plays and all that. I think he did like Mean Girls, and there was another play he was doing. So he's just in between all of that, trying to ping different people because I pretty much told him I have almost no connections in this world. So if if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna have to lean kind of heavy on him.
Yeah.
So he said, let me rally, let me see. The biggest thing I told him is we're gonna have to see what price tag you would ask for. And don't want to disrespect that you're a professional. You deserve what price tag you deserve. But
Mhm.
if it's beyond what we're gonna be able to get people interested in, then this is just not for our town. I don't think anybody's gonna pay $1,000 for a drama intensive in Upton. So like, but in New York or something they would. So I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
if
Yeah.
this is something that's just beyond us, it's just beyond us.
Right.
I'm obviously making up a very large number. um Concert series, I really haven't done any updates with all of this. That's kind of a will do. Really haven't gone there. Marketing, yeah, Laura, we can set up a date to get together and talk about our marketing needs, and kind of especially off season while we're so quiet.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm looking at your shirt, and again, it brings to mind, do we want to do some sort of I'm thinking at the high schools to come up with a new logo, something like that. I know I brought it up a year ago and then my life fell apart at the seams, but
Yeah.
my daughter participated in that when she was in high school for her drama group, and she
Yep.
won, and that was pretty cool.
Nice. That's cool.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I'd love that.
So,
Yeah, so just getting
you and I
together
can
and
meet-
kind of spitballing ideas, and then maybe getting kind of a plan down, in fall we do this and we roll this out, in spring we, blah blah blah.
yeah, for sure.
Great. Goals. So still again, we had, Rick, I think last meeting, and correct me if I'm wrong, we had said we were gonna kind of scour up the ones that you officially submitted,
Did I do
and
that?
then
I might not have.
and then actually look to see if they're what we really want to consider the goals, because it was a little bit of that. I think I just made up a few. We got them submitted to get things in.
Right.
Right.
Really, yeah, and then just really the last big topic is we had talked about the approval amount, and said, maybe coming up with categories or amounts that if it's this category, I can just sign off on it no matter what the amount is, and if it's or specific vendors, and then if it's not that, if it's over this amount, I have to get sign off. A
Right.
few that I came up with, so authorized and priority are credit card fees. Often in the busy seasons, those are well above my approval amount. But we get them in every single month. They're credit card fees, so it's not like we're not going to pay them or anything along those lines, or that we can do much about it, or that you all will say, no to this purchase. So I think that would be a good one. Same thing with independent contractors. There are months where like Jerica won't get her things in, so I'll do 2 months of volleyball, and that'll be beyond the 300. I know we did it per line, but sometimes she'll just put them into one invoice. And so then that one invoice for the last 2 months, blah, blah, blah. So again, independent contractors are just, they do the service and then they submit the pay and then we pay them. So I think that one would make sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And even like the theater, Jen and Bob, they're well above the 300 mark. So things
Yeah.
like that would just be nice to just be able to get it through. I know, Chris,
Yeah.
you're very speedy, but it's just nice to kind of be able to like wow them in the moment, go into town hall, print it out, get it submitted,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out the door.
Yep. And
Yeah, to
then
me, yeah, good, sorry.
buses, yeah.
Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. That was the last.
Yeah, I mean, I think that things that are year to year consistent, like for
Yeah.
paying whatever, I mean, I would be comfortable having you just go ahead with those versus like some single year thing that comes up that costs more than $300.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, I'm signing off on these things, but I'm not, there are very few things I'm going to say no, because we need to have these things, the buses, the whatever.
Right.
Right.
And it's a year to year thing. So it's not like anything major is changing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the only thing, because I also, originally and still thought of this policy as a little bit protecting me too. If there was
Yeah,
a expense and somebody's kind of saying, "Hey, what is this?" If Maria's just doing everything blind, it all falls on me. Versus if
Right.
Repcom knew about it and we all agreed, then sure, you all know I'm not going to do anything out of line, but it's helpful for 4 people to be in consensus about why we did something than one person.
Right. Right.
Right.
So, that's why I think I agree with you, Chris, that like these, again, the things in my mind, like they already happened. We're not
Yep.
gonna say no. Like you said, they're
Right.
year after year or month after month, and it's just part of doing it.
Right.
And then the thing I don't want to do is, and then I don't want to swing too far where again I'm buying a, I don't know, $1,000 kayak, and then someone's going, okay, but point out which kayak because I want to make sure it's not in your backyard. And I'm going, well, I don't know, it was blue, like
Right. Right.
I got it delivered and then it got beat up and now it looks the same as all the other blue ones, like that kind of thing. Like I promise I don't have it.
Yeah.
So it's
mean,
those things
you're
that I
right.
do want to make sure you all are looking
Yeah.
over to say we all agreed I was buying that new kayak.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
if it's a new expense that like
Yeah.
you didn't do last year, for
Right.
sure. Yeah. And I mean, I don't mind signing off on stuff that's
Sure.
it's not a big deal, but any if you look at some expense and you're like, oh, we didn't actually spend this thing for this thing last year, then yeah, send that through, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just so you're aware, this is actually you're doing a fraction of what Debbie used to do. It used to be every single expense report.
Oh wow. Wow.
Every single one. So we'd buy, crayons and markers
Oh.
and things
Sign
and
off.
for kids that play, right? And
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And she's
5 erasers.
construction paper. She's like,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So we're
Yeah, that
already getting
makes-
better, yeah, with the up to
Yeah.
300. But I like that. So anything that's repeated, whether it's month to month or year to year,
Yeah.
we're kind of
routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
okay. Like I said, short and sweet. That's my director's report.
I mean,
Slow,
that's
slow
not
time of
something-
year.
That's not something we need to vote on formally, do we? No.
I
The
think
expense thing?
I think yes.
I think we
Because
do. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you voted on this. I think you voted on the approval amount up to 300 because it was a change.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'd bet to update that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Rick, you're really good at phrasing things. Do you want to put that out there?
Yeah, so, and once again, what's the amount that you're now thinking? Yeah, you thinking of making it 300 or it's, cause it's like, is it 300 now or 250 now?
It's 300 now. And so I think the idea would be is that any repeated expense, and by repeated, I don't mean another kayak, and we've bought one in the past, but I mean,
yeah.
again, independent contractors, buses, credit card fees, the like, just we do it all the time. So any of those, there wouldn't be a dollar amount. It's just, we know we do it every year. We know we do it every month. It just gets signed off on. Anything that is not repeated regularly would still be up to the 300.
Okay,
Mhm.
I think that's what I'm putting out there.
Yeah. So,
Because
like,
again, I'll be honest, there's even been a few times I just without thinking signed priority because it's a credit card fee and I do it every month and it was like $1,000. And then
Yeah,
later
yeah.
I'm going, oh shoot, that's well
Yeah.
beyond my
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
and you know what, I think, and it's kind of funny because I think, I'm gonna date myself a little bit here, probably 12 to 15 years ago, I think we ended up doing the same thing in the Mendon Upton soccer program
Mhm.
when I was president there, right? Before
Yeah.
being president of the league of which Mendon Upton now plays within. So, So, and we kind of, we kind of looked at it the same way, that, you know, the standing monthly expenses that
Mhm.
are, consistent operations pieces, you know, were, okay to pay by the treasurer as, as their monthly pieces, come through. But if we had any other one-offs that were unplanned, then those would end up going through a review stage. So, so that it wasn't, this doesn't sound like it's too far off. So
Yeah.
based on that whole thing, I'll make a motion to allow Maria to sign off on standard operational expenses that happen month in, month out. Without without the commission's requirements to sign. Any one-off expenses that are not monthly would remain at a $300 amount for signature approval.
I like the language and I second it.
Can I make an edit before you all vote?
Yeah,
Can you say monthly or yearly?
Yeah,
I'm picturing
Oh.
my rec or buses.
buses, yeah.
sure.
Yeah, okay.
You
So
might
hold
want to
on.
also
So,
include
so,
like,
so the small
like-
adjustment I would make there then is for kids at play operational expenses within, within its seasonal, pieces, right? And or yearly fees for operating tools.
Sorry, one more edit. I actually, because of the protecting myself thing, I'm probably being overzealous, but can I actually say not the random kids at play stuff? Because most of that is going to already fit under the 300, so we're already good. But again, I think if there's any weird, bigger things, those are the things where I'd love just a level of protection where we all agreed on it.
I mean,
Even if
I like the word unplanned expenses, because it really
Yeah.
covers a lot of that stuff. Like, you need a new kayak, right? That was not planned, or
That was not
or
planned.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe new or unplanned.
new or unplanned, yeah.
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 Versus
Okay.
repeated. I mean, repeated can be in there as well. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, go ahead, Rick. Work your
What
magic.
Okay. So,
Same motion as amended.
well, we could do it that way, right? And with that amendment in it, yeah, I mean, so I think we have it. Let's, I guess we can go back and listen to the recording. I'm sure we
Yeah.
can write that up appropriately with the right phrases within it.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement in terms of what we're trying to get to, and to make sure that that we, that we're all covered underneath these terms, right? Because it's not, it's not just Maria, it's really all four of us. So, yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, and Maria, if you send me this updated director's report, I can word that in the minutes, and then if anybody has any edits to that, we can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
can do that.
vote
Yep.
formally. I agree.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was motioned, we had an addendum to it. Do we actually, before we do that, do we have a second on the motion?
A second.
Okay, all in favor of the amended motion?
In favor.
Okay.
In favor.
All right, so that's in unison. So with the amended motion now, we all approve.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. right? I was channeling my inner Dave Laper from a moderator piece saying, okay, you have to vote on the addendum piece of it first, then bring
Separately,
it
yeah.
back into the normal, and you know, I think we're covered.
I think so. We are all within the spirit of the motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. All
All
right.
right. Like I said, short and sweet. That's all I have.
All right. So
You kick me out? Yeah.
I did kick you out. I didn't necessarily kick you out. I just took over.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
This happens at work all the time, right? Where all of a sudden I've got the share, then someone
Yep.
steals it from me, and then I go, ha, like hell, and then I take it back.
There you go.
So I will send this out afterwards, right? Just so everyone sees it, but it basically went through, hey, here's all the stuff that was actually submitted for you know, kind of the year-end evaluation with comments, commentary, and all that type of stuff. I think we had talked about some of those, but at the very end, the last page is really the planning for the next fiscal year, right?
Yep.
And there were 5 pieces in here, so you know, the first one that we had drafted up was talking about the marketing newsletters and stuff, which not sure whether or not we've done anything on yet. We've, you know, we kind of said 3, not 4, right?
Right.
So if we were thinking about trying to do like 1 per quarter, maybe it's not 1 per quarter, but you know, do we get something that, you know, can start getting out there, and you know, we get you know, a hard piece of paper of something at some point, you know, to try, you know, just what's going on in rec, right?
Yep.
You know, and that, and certainly when these got put in there, this was before that other cross-functional meeting that Laura had called, right? And saying, hey, you know, is there a quick, you know, 1-2 page highlight flyer or something that we want to throw out there to the community, right?
Right.
Because I know that was one of the things that came out of that. So don't know, you know, maybe it's just something as simple as, hey, we're going to reshift that into, you know, something small that we can put into a larger We Are Upton type of update,
Right,
right?
right.
The next one was around the dugout repair.
Mhm.
And this one was done specific because I think, Maria, you and I had talked with Joe at Kiwanis when we were doing that walkthrough, and I think Joe was thinking that, you know, hey, we might need to get people together. We might need to show them, you know, or you know, at least call a meeting to bring them together to kind of make sure that they understand what this plan is, right? Because this plan is probably going to cost some bucks. It's going to be more than something that's going to be able to be covered by like a site improvement piece.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, so there's probably going to be something that's going to need to go to the floor, of which we're going to need people's support, especially if we're asking for like a CPA fund or some other type of thing in order to go and get that done. So, so, you know, that's, you know, one of those things. We talked about how to run recreation in case you're out again in the future, right?
Yeah.
I think that was one of those. Yeah, you know, we made it, but you know, if we you know, now's probably the right time to go back and document. All right, what did we end up doing to make coverage happen?
Right.
And you know, did it work? Are there areas that we, you know, should clean up and that type of stuff? Because you never know, right?
I mean, we are looking to have more kids.
So
Yay!
okay,
Yep. It's
all right,
hopefully gonna happen again.
yeah, there you go. The next one here, attend to professional development events. Now, I also think that was one where think we talked either the last month or the month before of, well, maybe we do like a, you know, a budgeting, you know,
Mhm.
budgeting 101 thing or something like that, you know,
Yep.
that is town government-esque, right? And I say
Yeah.
that, right? Therefore, you can understand Kenny's lingo. All right.
But can you really?
All right, that might have been a reach. Okay. Sorry,
You're being
Kenny.
recorded,
but-
Rick.
Kind of attempt to.
So, you know, but, you know, something along those lines, and then something else that's, you know, that also helps out with your professional development.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. You know, and then we had talked about, you know, other things that we might have been able to do with, you know, at least officially writing up something of a potential use of the old library, right? You know, granted, it would have to have a lot of work to be done in order to do that, but assuming, you know, the town would be entertaining of cleaning up the mold and doing all kinds of other stuff, what could we actually do there, right?
Yeah.
You know, and at least have some ideas of you know, of elements, right? Therefore, we're not, you know, when the town's coming back and going, hey, you know, hey, we've got a church. What are we doing with it? Hey,
Yeah.
we've got an old library that's sitting vacant. You know, a library area that's been sitting vacant now for years. What are we
Yeah.
doing with it?
Yeah.
Right? You know, and just to let you guys know, in the CPC meeting, when we were talking about, you know, kind of the large price tag it would take for doing something with the church, I kind of went, you know, guys, if, you know, we bought the property because we were scared of what someone might do to it. Right. We did the same thing with the building on Hartford Ave that now you know, it's going to cost us $1 million to have Habitat of Humanity come in, rip it down, do all kinds of other stuff so we can sell it for low income housing.
Right.
They're talking about, there's a building behind Fin and Feather, right?
Yep.
Between Fin and Feather and the hair place, there's a building out back that I think they're looking to sell that off, but it's not the best of
Mhm.
stuff. So, you know, so they've kind of kicked it to the town, and I'm going, stay the hell away from it, right? I don't want anything to do with it, because all it does is cost the town money,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you know, if we're really looking out for the best interests of the town, that ain't it. So, that's just, you know, we've got to start learning our lesson at some point here. So anyway, so I went into, you know, I think when things start to get pushed and shoved, having some ideas handed over to the town in terms of what might be able to be done
Mhm.
is a good thing, especially since, you know, people are probably going to be looking and going, okay, hey, what are you guys recreation now doing, since you've kind of made it be known we're not doing anything with Trask right now because of the big price tag for the schools.
Right.
You know, there's got to be something else in our back pocket. So,
Yeah.
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 all right.
Mhm.
Yep.
So not that we necessarily knew all that when those were drafted, but I think we knew that pieces of that were coming, and you know, we marked it up accordingly. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the 5. There's nothing underneath it. Like I said, I'll send that out. I mean, you know, I don't know if those were all good. I didn't necessarily get into metrics in terms of how we review and you know, tabulate the measurements of, you know, was it completed, not completed, and all that type of stuff. But, you know, we can, you know, I'll send that out, and we can get there if we still agree that these are the 5. I don't know if there's any other new ones that you may want to think about and say, yeah, can we drop that one and maybe cut in this other one or something? Or do these 5 look good?
I like them.
Yeah, I think they look good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd have to think about it some more.
I think
the
the only thing that I had been thinking, and I'm actually surprised it wasn't in here, so I don't know if it got replaced or I just didn't put it in. I thought I had. But applying for grants, and a couple years ago we had put this in, and then one year we got it, one year we didn't. So I think we took it out because I
Yep.
think we had said like get a grant. And so I think maybe the word
Right.
applying makes it more possible. But I have a reminder in my calendar about like it's grant season, right? Like go actually check,
yeah.
because often we'll talk about this stuff in the spring and we missed it.
Yeah.
But you know, there's cultural council, but there's also ADA grants and there's also
Yeah.
other things. And I think that is one that we haven't, again, I've applied to cultural council, but that's much
Yep.
smaller. But
Yeah.
I
Sure.
really think we haven't gone that avenue much. And I think even if we don't really know what we're doing, starting to apply each year and then just saying, okay, well, that was a crappy application, but now I know, and now next year it'll be better or whatever. I think is almost one of the better departmental development and professional development, but things for us, because I think if we can be a department that's good at applying for grants, it's going to
Mm.
get us a lot further in these things we want to do. Again, even upstairs at Kiwanis, is there something, you know,
Right.
that would apply? The
Yep.
bathrooms, right? Mike's going after maybe some grants because of ADA stuff, but like if we get good at it, is that stuff that we can do?
Sure, sure.
To just be able to move a little bit more independently, not that I want to do it without them. So I don't know.
And that could be one of the professional development areas of
Just gonna
going,
say
Yeah.
that.
you know
Exactly.
what, how do we, is there a grant writing class,
There
right?
are. That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so I think that avenue, and then maybe this year it's a class, and then next year it's get, you know, an application
Yeah.
into
Yep.
at least beefier than cultural council. You know, it
Yes.
doesn't have to be one of the big bigs, because that's probably always going to be above us, because people, you know, do that professionally. But that, you know, that just next
Mhm.
step up of maybe a little bit higher than the 500,000 mark that we've been shooting at, is there something a little bit more than that?
Yeah.
Sure.
And then the only other one that I don't remember, I don't know if I put it in, so I'm guessing maybe it got added, is number 2. So call meeting to collect the residents' interest. With the new plans that came out to all the departments, at least from what I've come to understand, this has really been passed off mostly to DPW and Mike. So that's
Okay.
the only one where I don't know if that's like in our department enough for that to be for us to be the ones to call this type of thing. You know, obviously we can collaborate, but to just make it one of the official goals.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think the item here was just to make sure that the residents were aware of the project, especially if we were going to need CPC funding and it would be going to town meeting.
Yeah.
Like the schools did, we would, hopefully there'd be people that would be able to come in support of approving CPA funds to do that work, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's where that one was going. But to your point, right? I think it's, this may be, this may be a little bit of a lift and shift now that, Joe's moved on to different pastures. So
Yeah. And I think I was trying to think back to when we had to do all those steps around the Upper Kiwanis parking lot. I think there is, you know, if this is in that same realm, I think there are some, you know, standardized, you have to send out the mailings to make sure everybody's informed, and then you have to have a meeting where everyone can discuss things along those lines. I'm going to assume there are similar steps to a project like this.
I think so. Yeah.
And
Most
again,
definitely, yeah.
if Dennis and Mike's departments are really taking the lead, I would guess that would come through them. So that's the only one that I would ask, you know, we shift that to a different official goal. I don't know if this document needs to be like edited and resubmitted, but just maybe internally we're saying at this point, with updates since last July,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
are really the still appropriate goals for
Yeah.
our department.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay, so, you know what,
And-
and, you know, honestly, if that goes that way, I'm fine with replacing it. As but, so what are you thinking, if we were to replace it with something, what are we replacing it with?
Well, that's funny enough. You all said the professional development. That's why I was kind of thinking the grant application, because if I can try to take a, well, now that we're in grant season, maybe it's a little bit reverse order, but my initial thought was maybe take a professional development and then use that momentum to see about
Right.
applying for some grant.
Yeah.
And to just know what what do we have to collect. One of the times I talked to Mike, you have to have so much material ready just to apply that we were
Yeah.
always months away. So
Yeah.
again, maybe the application just is a general apply to a grant, but maybe making one of the specific professional developments a grant writing or a application thing, just to really kind of piece those together.
Yep.
Obviously,
Yep.
it would be nice if the class could come first.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, to tie those two goals together, I think sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that if there's time to be able to kind of, I'll say slam dunk it, right? Is there something imminent that all of a sudden we could get into in the short term while we're kind of in the season, right?
I mean, it could
Well-
also be just identify potential grants for FY 26 or 27.
Mm.
Just have a list going in so that,
Yeah.
if we don't hit it this year, we're ready to tee it up for next year. Just have those 4 or 5 grant possibilities on deck for us. You know what I mean?
Maybe
Yeah,
that can be
identify
like
them.
plan B. Like plan A is to actually get an application in, but if that's just not realistic with our
Yeah.
timeline and everything, the
Yeah.
pivot within the goal is to say, we've identified that the timeline doesn't make sense.
Right.
So we're actually taking steps to be ready
Yeah.
to not miss it next year.
That way you don't
Right.
get penalized for,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That allows you to learn the criteria, that
Yeah.
all of that.
exactly.
So you can hit the ground running next cycle.
Right.
Yep, exactly. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so I'll now that I found it and I brought it up, I'll send that out. I'll send that out now.
Cool.
And let's see.
Yeah, in
Trying
case
to
I'll send you the
see.
updated.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just send it as is, only because I think that was the kind of a time. Although it might have auto saved because I had the auto save on, but it was, it was back in that end of June, beginning of July timeframe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Late again.
Yeah, but we added it. I think we remembered to add to Chris's. He has Chris,
Yep.
you have certain things for certain months, right? I think we added it to like March or something.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
February. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Progress,
Moving on.
not perfection.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Heritage Day.
Yeah. So I'm unfortunately not going to be available for that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to probably help prep for that because we're prepping stuff for Indiana when we go out
Going
there.
away,
So
sure.
it's a lot going on right now,
Sure.
plus some other things. But so I just put it on the agenda to see, do you need any help from anybody else, or how's that going to run?
Like help with setup or anything like that? Maria's
Or-
kind of shaking her head. Does that mean you're not available?
Yeah, I've had a thing on that date for like 7 months or something like that. So it was just one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll as of just as long as it isn't raining and I have to close fields and all that type of stuff, I can be around to do whatever.
Yeah, it's basically, I can run the show. It's just setting up a
Mhm.
couple of tables and stuff like that.
Yep.
What I can do is I can grab the tables from the beach and have them in my office at town hall. So at
Okay.
least it's just there. And at least, It's not
Yeah.
setting up the tables, but it's not a drive and get them down from the building and all that. So I can
Yeah,
have that.
exactly.
I'll probably do that the week before, so they're just in my office.
That'd be easy enough. Yeah. And those aren't terribly heavy, so that's manageable.
Yeah.
How many do you
Do you
usually
have a
get?
key?
I can
Two
get
is
in.
Two
two is
tables.
sufficient.
I can get into your office.
Oh, right, because Rick, you'll be around. Okay.
Yeah, because we
And you,
use
Chris,
what?
Rick, you can
two
get into
last
the
year,
actual
Chris?
office.
I can.
Good. All right.
Chris, I think
What
we
did I,
used two
what did I
last
bring
year.
there? I brought the flag there.
The flag, yes.
Right?
Lori,
Yeah,
we're gonna
and that's how I learned I have a key to be able to get into that
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
There
Because
you
the
go.
new cleaning crew, they're wonderful, but they do not remember to leave things unlocked, even though
Yes.
we ask. And so a lot of people scrambled the first few weeks that we had this cleaning crew, learning what keys they didn't have that they thought they
Yes.
might have had. Yeah. Getting locked out of their offices.
And truth be told, I was shocked that I had a key that actually did work.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, right? So, yeah, I mean, I've got 2 or 3 as well if needed, but if we've already got them, then cool.
Yeah. Because that's, am I missing a
Lori,
week? Is that
Lori, you
next
were gonna
weekend?
say something?
No, I was just thinking we used two tables last year. I think you brought one and I brought one.
Yeah,
So this will be easier.
yeah, definitely.
When
if-
you're saying you brought tables, we have all different sizes. All right, did you bring 8-foot tables each?
I think
I
there were
would-
sixes or,
I
Six
think
or
it was a
sixes?
six. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, they weren't
Actually, I
8.
think we do have 6. But so 2 6-foot tables, not anything small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
that'd be
then is
perfect.
that just because I have too many things? Is that this weekend or next weekend? It's next weekend, right?
Next
Yeah.
weekend.
Next.
Yep.
Like a week and a half from now. Okay.
Yes. And then we need the tablecloth or cloths.
Yeah, you
And
had those too. Yeah.
yep, anything that has like logos for giveaways. I don't know what you've got, pens, anything like that.
Tons. We have individual Band-Aid holders that you can give away. We have a million pens. Yeah, I'll pull out some stuff.
And you had
Band-Aid
the
holders.
ad-
Engage
you had
in
the ads for,
recreation,
like,
get in-
archery
Singular.
and that sort of-
One Band-Aid.
Individual Band-Aid holders.
Wow. Just bring the Band-Aid.
Hundreds of plastic single individual Band-Aid holders.
Wow.
Whose idea was to purchase that?
My the director before me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I wonder if that was a
Shade.
throw-in. I actually wonder if that was a throw-in. It only holds one Band-Aid? Seriously?
You might be able to jam a second one in there.
Wow. That's a good use of plastics, I think.
Yes.
Huge box, hundreds of them.
Wow.
We
Interesting.
did put them the first couple years of camp that I was here. We would give out little like bags, welcome bags, and so we got rid of a lot of them those first
Yeah,
few years.
yeah,
But
Yeah, and they went right into the
Yeah.
trash bin probably.
yeah,
So.
the kids were like, "Thanks."
What? Yeah,
They
exactly.
might want to hit
They're,
recycling at
they're
some
not even
point.
big enough for a nose strip. Help me breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can find something fun to replace the Band-Aid with that a kid will actually be excited about.
Yeah. Once we have our new logo, though, let's wait on
There
that.
you go.
Mm.
Well, the Band-Aid holder will already have the old logo.
So, okay, so if you're gonna grab a bunch of those things, then you're gonna bring them to the office and we just grab them from the office in the morning.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, and I'll bring 2 tables. Do they fit in my car? I might have to borrow Grace's car next week.
You're up against the same thing I am because my car is even smaller than yours, so I get it.
Is it? Is it?
It
Do you have
is.
a Fiat? Those are usually the.
It's not that small.
Oh, okay.
It's a Prius
Yeah.
C, and I think I've got probably 2 to 3 inches less than you do.
Got it.
so,
Got it. Yeah.
okay, so in other words, Rick can grab tables. Because Rick has a truck that he can throw them in the back.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, also, yeah.
Um,
Also, if you want to run by, again, you have all the keys, right? So if you want to run by, do you have the?
Do I don't, so you know what? I've never tried upstairs and I don't know if I have a key for the new lock downstairs.
Okay. I
So-
know that Dennis wanted us to hand back in all of the new keys. I was obviously going to keep one for me. But the rest have been, grabbed. But I can leave one in my mailbox.
Okay, and just let me know when you do it and I can just kind of swing through and nab it. Now, I mean, now granted, I've got 2 6-foot tables here at the house. So maybe I just use those and be done then.
That works.
I don't
Whatever works for
Then I
you.
don't have to, all I have to do is throw them back in the truck and go home. I don't have to make a special trip to the beach.
There you go.
Even better.
Because it's so far away.
Yeah. I know.
All right.
Yeah, actually that works great. And then I'll still grab, because I can put all the boxes of the giveaways and you all can kind of decide. I
Perfect.
won't do the nice stuff, unfortunately. The hats and the water bottles, we
No,
hold
no.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So is the plan still to do like that bead thing again and
Thinking, yeah, that was
It
well
was
received.
popular. That was wildly popular last
And-
year.
the inventory, so I have no idea. The inventory of that is good in it somewhere, or we have to
It's-
buy stuff to
It's
replenish?
outstanding.
Okay, but no, but
will
you
not-
have enough of it. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
okay,
We have
Mhm.
enough
Good.
for probably 5 years, so we're good.
all right,
Wow.
all right.
Great.
And that means you know where it is, because I have no idea where it is.
At your
It's
house.
around the corner in my living room. Yep.
Okay,
Perfect.
all righty.
And I'm thinking I might make some Upton ones in advance. I
That's a
don't
good
know
idea.
if those are just
Yeah.
giveaways or if we try to make $1 on each. I don't care, but just to inspire people, perhaps.
I think it's mostly kids, so I remember them asking us last year, "Oh, how much does this cost?" And we're like, "It's free." And they're like, "Oh, this is great," you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's keep it that way. I'll make as many as I feel I'm up to making while I listen to podcasts about dangerous individuals. And then there'll kind of be samples. Maybe I'll make samples of a couple of the other ones, but I got some huge beads that the littler kids can work with. I got bigger thread. I've learned how to tie them more successfully, Chris, so they won't be breaking all over the place.
And I was terrible at that. Yeah.
Well, I was
That's
only
wonderful.
Yeah,
slightly better at it.
I think the key thing was just getting it started so that there's the thing on the end. Because doing that on site that took a lot of mental energy on my part, at least. So.
Okay,
And I remember like one kid like getting the whole thing done and then it broke and everything, all the beads went everywhere, and I was just like, oh God. I quit.
got it.
All right.
Okay. So that kind of happens, rain or shine, canopy wise? Canopies allowed?
Canopies are allowed. I
Yeah, they
haven't
must be.
historically brought one, but other people do.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I think
can.
2 years ago I canceled because I was planning to go and it rained and we had like a physical. I think I was going to do like a cornhole, or I had some throw thing I was planning. So I didn't know that they still did it. Rain.
We had those last year. We did the ring toss thing and
Yeah.
Yeah.
the thing. We just set that up like right behind our tables. And kids
Okay.
actually did use those. So if
Yeah,
not,
at least- I think
bring
at
those
least one
along.
of those, because sometimes that
Yeah.
engaged an older kid when a
Yeah.
younger sibling was playing with beads.
Still beating.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
just
had
grab
one
a few
little guy
things,
that
bring
was
it over,
11.
drop it off all in the office.
okay.
Good.
Yeah,
No, that
just-
would be fun.
Yeah, just let us know and then we can kind of grab things accordingly. So, okay.
Rick, if you think of it, just because I imagine next, June we're gonna forget. If you still have those mesh bags, you can just leave them on my desk at town hall,
All right, good point.
because I will definitely forget. Give me a few more weeks and it'll be gone.
I actually, what's funny is, still on the wall in the garage, I have the chip bag holders. How many years have I said I've got chip bag holders?
Chip bag holders?
Yeah.
For
oh, like for when you do the concert series, right? You could actually hook in
Oh,
chips
yep.
and someone could just grab it off a rack and go,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm gonna
Oh,
take a bag of chips.
Got it, got it. I thought you meant
Wow.
like a literal clip.
Oh, no, not
Yeah,
one of
I was
those.
like, what are
No,
we using this for? Yeah, the
no,
big, yep.
like,
Oh.
one that it'll hold, a dozen to 2 dozen bags of chips,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
In
we
one
could
stand.
totally use that at the concerts.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, because we've got them lined up
I
and then
don't-
one
I
goes
have
and
no idea why I have 3 of them. Literally none, right?
Good sale.
I can almost guarantee you my mother got them thrown in my truck at one point in time, and now they're in my garage.
now they're yours.
It was buy one, get 2 free.
So it probably was. And oh, by the way, right? Like, like Maria, if you're gonna have a first birthday party at some point, right?
Ah,
And you want to have like 10 6-foot tables and 200 chairs, well, maybe not 200, 60 chairs, I got them.
You're the
I have
guy.
access,
wow.
Okay,
I-
yeah.
right? That's not in my location, that's at my mom's, but mom's is on Taft Street, so
That's great, yeah.
we get access to stuff.
I might ping you at some point for that because I think we're not going to do a big thing like that in January, and I am not.
Right.
Our house is too small for a lot of people in January, but we might just start celebrating half birthdays in this house so that we can all have outdoor celebrations.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
There you
I'll
go.
pick up some bracelets.
yeah, perfect.
All right.
Good.
All right, very good. Let's see, review action items not covered in the director's report. I don't know. Do we have anything there? Yeah, yeah. All
I
right.
think we're good.
Any other topics?
Next meeting?
I guess before,
Before
so,
that.
I did send Neil a note back on the dates. Maria, you probably saw that. So I don't know. I haven't, I haven't looked, but I didn't see a reply back saying whether or not that was good or bad. So,
Yeah, it seemed like he was just trying to get the information from us.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I know. But,
Yeah.
but I also think that we had sent them the Excel piece that kind of, if they looked at it, you kind of go, all right, all the data was there in terms of what was approved and the time ranges, and that type of stuff. So, it was
Yeah.
kind of one of those,
I have
some
a
of them might have
feeling
gone a
they're-
little longer, but
Yeah, they're pretty overwhelmed, and it might have just been rather than pull it up ourselves, we'll just ask. That's my guess.
Yeah. So,
Two things with that. One with that Neil. So I don't know if I've ever met Neil. I've seen a few emails, going back, but you've really been talking to him with all
Yeah.
the field stuff. Is he still communicating with you about any sort of field
he,
closure?
he did,
Okay.
he did on the morning of the 6th, because the 5th we had heavy rains that Friday night. And obviously we ended up having tornado warnings the next day. So,
That's
Yeah.
right.
which I scolded a whole bunch of towns, Upton being one of them.
Scolded?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we ended a game, right? We ended one of the games early because a tornado warning started, we went from watch to warning.
Yeah.
Right.
And I sent a message out to everybody, right? All head coaches, town leads, referees. I went, as soon as your phones start going off saying we're now in a tornado warning, end the game, get everyone to, get everyone out of there so they can be safe, right?
Yeah.
I don't care where you are within the game, end it, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a game that started at 4:45. Like
Okay.
2 different teams came in, different referee, started playing. And oh, by the way, they're like, oh, it started getting really bad about 5:15. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, because you should have stopped at 3:15.
That was scary. I got caught driving in it, and
Well, yeah, I had one team from West Boylston. West Boylston's just, you're not familiar with the area. West Boylston's just above Holden. but
Yep.
they were out in Harwick. And they
Mhm.
got out there, tornado warnings, because that was a little bit more in line with the path. You know what they drove home with? Because
Tornado?
that was the exact path coming
Yep.
from Hardwick back to West Boylston, followed the path of which those things were traveling. So I you know, I felt
People-
bad, but what it, you know, I actually didn't realize that we were having a tornado. Tornado cells were part of this until hell, like 1:30 or something like that. I
Yeah.
turned on the news and all, and I'm like, oh wow, they're out in Springfield and other areas, and I went, oh crap, that means they're coming this way.
Yep.
I got to get something out quick. So
People out here don't take them seriously. I grew up in Tornado Alley, and boy, do I know tornadoes.
yeah. So it was, but it was one of those things. I mean, and we had three of the towns within Central Mass, of which is within the CMYSL realm, did have reported touchdowns.
Yeah.
One of them was a half a mile from one of the fields.
Wow.
No.
So luckily that field was shut down and gone. So
They listened.
People need
So-
to drive back to Palmer. They are still not rebuilt from how many years ago? Just go to Palmer and say, this is what happens, people.
oh yeah.
So second thing, and if you all remember, before we got Joy, but we're opening back up for a placement again in December.
Mhm.
As always, that doesn't mean we have any idea when or if
Yep.
we will be placed with anyone. But kind of mid-December-ish, we're just at least telling the department, hey, we're at least an option if there's the right fit. So for you all to just, again, I like to be super fair and give you as much heads up as possible. And so if there was another quick placement like there was this time, which we did not expect, then it would be very similar situation to last year, which is not ideal, but we, just to be fully blunt, we weren't willing to wait till the fall, and I felt like summer was a worse idea. So
Yeah.
spring it is.
I mean,
And with the paid family
Yeah.
leave and stuff, we had to go to the new calendar year.
yeah.
So
I mean, I know the drill now, so it'll be a lot
There-
easier. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and if we complete one of the action items of documenting here's the things, right? Then
There
it
we
makes it a little
go.
bit
and
easier
to do
for
it
us,
all.
right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
So just
by hook or by
heads up.
crook, we all had a little bit of a piece of something that we tried to maintain and keep up with. So it worked. It might not have been seamless, but it worked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
And
Very,
we'll learn from it and do better next time.
absolutely. In hopes that there is a next time, right?
In hopes that
Mhm.
there
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll put the positive spin on that. So
it'll be very interesting if there's a call in June, July, August. Yeah.
You know what? I hope you get that call in June, July, or August. So,
Or earlier.
I hope I get that call January.
well, yeah,
Exactly.
well, sure.
Yeah.
we'd
Sure.
like it for it to happen whenever it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
So
Anyway.
okay.
So
All right.
random thought that came to my mind, just to throw it out there, performing space. I'm thinking that church basement, black box theater, stage, anything like that. And then also music lessons. Because Hopkinton over there, those things the prices are insane.
Yeah.
So just tossing it out there as somebody who's going to go back to Mansfield to return to voice lessons.
Right.
Something local wouldn't be a bad idea if people are
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah. No, that's the music lessons is interesting. I'll have to look to see if any towns do anything similar, and honestly, even
Yeah.
if they don't. Yeah. Okay.
Spin it
like that.
around, it's just something that crossed my mind.
Yeah, no, that's good idea. So yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent, I put it out there.
Yeah.
Great.
No,
Love it.
but
Yeah.
even for the old library area, right? If that was something to be cleaned up, right? I mean, it it does have the ADA ramp on the back
Yeah.
of the building if needed, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cool, yeah, okay.
Yep. All right.
All right, so October.
Mhm.
Where does that
Looking
Uh,
at
land?
either the 15th, which is 4 weeks from now, or the 22nd, 5 weeks from now. 1,
Either work for me.
3, 4, 5. The 22nd's better for me. I'm gonna be, oddly enough, staying at a lighthouse and getting back on the
That's
Wednesday.
cool.
So
Can I come?
Yeah.
That sounds
I'll
like
send you all
fun.
pictures. It's offshore, so if I get stuck in a storm, or if we get stuck in a storm, then I could be late to the meeting. I'm not sure.
That's very cool.
But that's
Yeah.
a good, that'll make for a great story.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. Yes, it
So-
will. It will if we
Yeah.
survive.
You're doing
but
that
I'm
over.
But I'm okay with the 22nd, yeah.
Yeah, 22nd works.
Okay, good.
Yep.
I'll send pictures.
Yeah.
Wait, now, where are you going for that?
It's Borden Flats Lighthouse in Fall River, and it's one of the only ones that you can be lighthouse keeper for 2 nights. That's the lighthouse is actually offshore in the middle of
Oh.
the harbor,
super
the bay,
cool.
or whatever. So they take you out in a little boat and you bring the stuff that you need, and it's kind of rustic. They redid it like the original lighthouse inside.
Ah.
And you stay for a couple of nights. You're the kind of the quote unquote lighthouse keepers for those 2 nights. It's a working Coast
I was
Guard
gonna
lighthouse
ask if
still.
it's
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
working.
yeah.
so,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
cool.
but it's all
Yeah.
automated now.
How'd
But,
you get that gig? That is so cool.
I read about it in the Globe, and
Interesting.
I thought, oh, that would be an interesting Christmas gift for my wife. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
this was in November of last year. So
Oh.
I went online, and the first date that I could get was October 14th, the 14th of this year.
No kidding.
So
Wow.
it sells out really, really quickly. But it should be
Wow.
interesting. Yeah,
That's
looking
super
forward
cool.
to that. Yeah,
That
it'll be
sounds
fun.
amazing.
I mean, is it heated and all that type of stuff?
Yeah.
Is it,
It's
good, a regular room, so you're not frozen?
It's- Oh yeah. I mean, I think there's heating. You can rent it. You can do it until November. So I'm assuming that there is a source of heat. Yes, and you can
Yeah.
cook there. There's a collection of DVDs. You can watch DVDs and the whole thing. There's no cable, obviously, and
Yeah.
What's it called?
it's called
A
Borden
DVD?
Borden Flat, like Lizzie Borden Flat
Gordon
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
Well, makes sense. Fall River, sure.
yeah.
That's very cool.
But it's really
That is
cool. Yeah,
so
I'll
cool.
let you know how it goes.
You're going to
Yeah.
be sleeping on cots, would be my guess.
No,
No,
you
they've
look at the
set it all up
pictures.
nice.
It's older, like antique stuff, but it's
Yeah.
like there are full beds. There's a full bed, and
I suppose if they're selling it as like a thing to do, they can't just have cots.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I'll send you guys the link to it. Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
sure.
I'm looking at it now. It looks amazing.
It's really cool. Yeah, very different.
What a great idea. Love it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
On
All
that
right.
note,
Very good.
Motion to adjourn?
Yeah. Motion to
Mhm.
adjourn, 8:24.
All right.
yep.
Very good. All right.
Good
Good.
night,
Have a
everyone.
good night, everyone. See ya.
Take care, guys. Good to see you.
You too.
Bye bye.